Hi, my name's Kristen Flutter, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about coronavirus, or COVID-19. It's a wonderful one doing the rounds around the world at the moment, causing a bit of a global pandemic, and as such, it's creating a bit of fear and uncertainty as to what's actually going to happen in the future. And rightly so, coronavirus, this one in particular, is a novel one. We've not experienced a virus like this previously, so people don't have a natural immunity to it, well, not yet anyway. Well, right now we're in the state of a social quarantine, and I feel this is actually an important process to be going through. And there's a reason for this. See, coronavirus is actually quite a virulent disease. It spreads around really quickly. In the virology world, they call this the nought, how well an infectious disease can spread to other people. So let me put this in context. An nought of 1. If I'm infected, I will infect one other person. Flu, for instance, has an nought of 1.3 to 1.5. So meaning if I'm sick with it, I will infect 1.3 to 1.5 people. SARS is a more recent viral epidemic that we had. It had an nought of 2.5. Okay, that means if I get sick with it, I will infect 2.5 other people. Now, COVID-19 at this point in time has an nought between 2 and 5. They're not quite sure as final numbers yet, but that is a much higher rate of infectiousness. So we're going to infect more people than we would with typically the flu. Now, there is more to it than just that though. Where the flu, when you get the flu, you start expressing symptoms pretty quickly. It's typically between 1 to 3 days. They call this a series interval. You know when you've got the flu, and you know then I'm going to stay home so I don't infect other people. This is one of the reasons why this nought is low. COVID-19 is different. COVID-19 has this series interval of between 5 to 6 days, meaning when you're infected with it, you may not display symptoms of it for 5 to 6 days. Now, it is still infective and contagious at this stage, but you're not aware of it. This then allows you to spread it amongst other people before you even start showing symptoms. More concerning is the age brackets between 20 and 35. These guys, we typically don't have severe symptoms either. We tend to show very mild symptoms or no symptoms at all, completely asymptomatic. Now, South Korea has done a very smart job of this one. They tested a lot of people and they found a number who were infected but asymptomatic and were able to quarantine prior to the disease becoming widespread and disastrous. Now, as such, they undertook this social quarantine and they told people to stay indoors for 14 days. Now, Australia, we're currently doing this as well. And there's a reason for this, because it takes time for the disease to actually manifest in our system. If we go out and about for 5 to 6 days, we're spreading this disease. That nought grows up from 2, goes to closer towards that 5, and we start infecting others. Now, the concern with this is the elderly. The elderly don't respond well to COVID, and in fact, that is why the elderly have a higher mortality rate when compared to other age brackets. So you need to be very sensible as to what you're doing. So the thing is then, how does COVID actually work? So COVID is a respiratory infection. Okay? A respiratory infection, meaning we breathe it or ingest it. It goes into our mouth and it attaches to the layers inside our throat. Now, there is a layer that's meant to be going over these inner surfaces of ours, and it's called secretory IgA. I've spoken about this one in a previous video. Probiotics produce secretory IgA, specifically Saccharomyces boulardii. Very, very helpful. More than that, though, is once it gets down inside our lung system, inside the alveolar system of our lungs where gaseous exchange occurs, it actually creates a lot of fluid inside these lungs. It creates an immune response. Our immune system goes a little bit bonkers and it produces too many cytokines. It starts producing an imbalance and we start to become very upregulated. So we need to stop this over-regulation, and we need to calm our immune system down almost. This is why in France they're utilizing immunosuppressants to reduce the severity of the disease, and it appears to be working. Do you know what else helps to regulate the immune system? Vitamin D. Vitamin D helps to regulate the immune system and also decrease the amount of circulating inflammatory markers inside our body. This will help us get past this one quicker, as well as reducing the likelihood of developing the disease in the first place. So, if you're an Australian and you're currently undergoing social isolation or quarantining, please keep that up. There is a reason for that one. It does slow down the rate of disease spread. But if you're also in Australia or anywhere around the world, really, utilize the probiotics, take some extra vitamin D and help keep your immune system healthy, and we'll all get past this one together. Listen to what your authorities are saying. They have many people helping to come to accurate decisions, and there's a reason why we have social isolation in effect. Please keep safe, everyone. Take your vitamin D, and I'll speak to you again soon.